Look.
Listen.
Taylor.
Welcome to Look, Listen with Geese Guyera, episode 72. We're going to talk about Pokemon and other things, specifically episode 29 this week. As always, there's me and Geese, who would rather be anywhere other than here, and
Yes.
Taylor.
I'm sitting down, which is one of my preferred method of bodily geometry is lying down, but
Some say laying down.
but yes, it's me in my house in Maryland where I usually record on my bed, but I have decided to be a big girl and record at my desk where I work.
Less chance of falling asleep during the episode, which is what normally happens every Friday. There's a new episode about Pokemon and other things. Geese Peep, let's jump right into your new segment. What's new with Geese segment? Da-dum-bum-ba-dum.
So we had Thanksgiving and it was good. Aaron came and he made mashed potatoes, and then we went to the Air and Space Museum on Friday, and that was
The
fun.
Air and Space Museum?
Exactly. And he was telling me about the Apollo missions, and I was nodding my head.
If you needed somebody to tell you about the Apollo missions, why did you ask us? We know everything about the Apollo missions.
Yeah. You're
All
talking
we
to
ever
the two best people for it. Yeah.
That's true. But also the Saturn
Is it?
and
The Saturn V.
Voyager things. And there was the model of the Star Trek Enterprise from the original series there, which is very exciting.
Fun fact about that, it did not go into space.
That's true, Taylor.
All we had where we were an entire Saturn V rocket and rocks from the moon. We didn't have
And mission control.
Also where they control the missions for the space missions. But we did not have an Enterprise Star Trek, so yeah.
Yeah, that sounds real sick.
Shouts out Air and Space Museum.
Mm-hmm. Way to go, Aaron.
Shouts out.
And then in more depressing news, I have to get an X-ray of my tummy.
Not again.
And I have to drink a barium solution and get my tummy X-rayed for 3 to 6 hours.
I got so excited when you said I get to drink a berry, and I thought you were going to say smoothie.
Too. I thought you were going to say a berry beverage. And I was just picturing Fuecoco just going, hunkies?
Beru BG. Oh my god. Beverage in Japanese is such a terrible word. Beru BBG. Beru BBG BDB.
There have to be words that people said as a joke, or they stumbled over their words, and people were like, yep.
Clambos! Thank you for listening to the first half of the episode where we do not discuss Pokemon. In more non-Pokemon news,
it's time for the second half.
Now it's time for us to discuss what we're watching, what we're playing, what we're eating this week. This week, as previously mentioned, I went to the movie theater to go see The Boy and the Heron. Of course, in Japanese with English subtitles. It was alright, it was good. I mean, yes?
Told me to remind you about birds when you mentioned this.
Oh, that'd be so sick if I had told you to remind me what to say about birds. That would have been
just
clever
birds.
plan.
You specifically didn't tell me because you didn't want to ruin it.
That's so sick of me to do in the past.
Oh, that sounds real cool.
I think it has to do with the heron that we saw in Kyoto, maybe? I don't know.
No, there's a lot of birds in The Boy and the Heron. Spoilers. And
Wait, you said, and I think I basically quote, all I gotta say is we better hope birds don't evolve.
yeah, that's for sure. Birds are terrifying if you watch that film. That's all I gotta say. Don't let them get too smart, Clambos. Be careful with those birds. Don't encourage them, please. But yeah, if you like Ghibli movies, you'll have a fun time with this. It's a Hayao Miyazaki movie. What else could you possibly want? Come on now.
Now, on the scale of movies that he's made, how are we feeling about this one? Was it up there?
This is no Ponyo, but
You know what's interesting? I started watching my neighbor. Do you say it Totoro or Totoro?
Totoro.
Totoro.
What, are you asking me how to say it if you're speaking Japanese or
Yes.
just? I mean, Totoro. But I mean, Totoro is what English speakers just say. My neighbor Totoro.
So we're watching Totoro.
Perfect.
And
can I please order one burrito, please?
I got this really cool, and I've never seen it before. The first time in my life seeing it. Watch it. Just a bunch of kids having fun in the 80s. And I was thinking, man, kids sure did know how to have fun. What a great time. And then 20 minutes goes on through the movie, and I'm like, it's still kids playing in a house. And I understand that this must have been exciting or real appealing to a certain generation or age group. But I just stopped watching it. And I was really, really surprised because I'm a huge Miyazaki fan.
Well, originally that was supposed to be played along with Grave of the Fireflies. So you're supposed to get happy and sad in like a double feature.
I thought those released decades apart, didn't they?
Both came out in 1988.
No freaking way. Oh, great year. Great year.
But Grave of the Fireflies isn't on Max, semicolon, the one you watch for HBO. Because Grave of the Fireflies is actually and this is probably what you're thinking of, it's a property before Miyazaki had anything to do with doing an anime adaptation of it.
Oh, okay.
So that's probably what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
I also watched, because it's free on YouTube, because somebody's looking out for me, The Truman Show, because I saw a million little clips on YouTube again, and it just made me want to watch this movie. For months now, I've wanted to watch it.
Have you never seen it?
No, I've seen it, but it's been a while. What I've discovered is if you rewatch a movie, sometimes you can say, wow, I don't remember any of this. It's like a free movie. Like
exactly.
Everybody rush out and watch The Truman Show right now because it's free on YouTube. No strings attached. YouTube movies. Have some fun. It's so engaging. The premise is so good.
I have a very fun little story about The Truman Show. So I hadn't seen it until years after this trip, but we took a summer vacation, few of us, when I was a kid, to this place in Florida. It's on the west side of Florida called Seaside. And this place has a bunch of statutes, ridiculous rules, no driving in the city. You have to ride these cute little bikes. Every house has to have a white picket fence. There's a little market square where they have Belgian waffles. There's a town-wide movie viewing every Thursday night, stuff like that. It's real picturesque. I watched the Truman Show years later, and I was like, oh my God, that's where we stayed. So it turns out that's where they filmed it. They didn't change it at all. If you go, I don't know how it is now. I'm sure it's changed over the years, but it was just that.
The movie is very funny. Now, like most films, most works of fiction, don't waste your time trying to think, well, actually, if that were to happen, that wouldn't happen.
Don't waste your time.
Nice job, Tom DeLonge or something. Someone from that.
The police would get involved. They wouldn't don't worry about that. It's just a wonderful movie. One thing I noticed, the creators of that movie, somebody involved with the creation of it, clearly adores Japan because there's so many little things in that movie. There's a character that's supposed to be studying Japanese, and Jim Carrey says konnichiwa to her, and she says, what? And he says, you're studying Japanese. And when they keep going back to the viewers of the television series, there's characters splashed in throughout. One of them is this Japanese family, and they have these shirts and these banners behind them with Torumon written out in katakana, and it's so amusing. And it's like all accurate. It's just they love Japan. Maybe they were inspired by certain types of Japanese television shows to make this movie. Who's to say? Let's move on to my video games this week. I beat Super Mario Wonder Brothers. Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Again, good game. I did all the extra bonus collect 100% stuff. As of a couple minutes ago, I'm in the final challenge, so I'll probably do that after we finish.
When you beat those games 100%, are you just done with them?
Yeah, I don't replay games almost ever. It's a fun game. Honestly, I think the most fun levels are the ones at the end. The actual tough ones that are... It's a fun game. I'm not going to say it's not fun. I'm going to be the Spider-Man defender and say Spider-Man 2 was a wonderful experience, but Super Mario Wonder, also fun.
I feel bad because all these giant games came out. Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Wonder. Everybody's losing their minds about it before they come out because they're these massive IPs. And everybody's like super hype whenever they come out. And then maybe a week and a half later, everyone's like, oh yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, well, yeah. Not too many people are playing Tears of the Kingdom anymore. There's just so many games. Okay. I also did the Hisuian Yes Geese.
Yes, Geese.
I was just going to ask about Cyber Monday deals you guys have found.
Oh, I saw some real good ones. Up to 10% off, Geese.
All the deals this year have been going on. Like, the best deals have been going on since the beginning of the month. Not
Yeah.
any specifically Friday or Monday deals.
I think spending is going to be pretty much down across the board. Just from what I've been seeing on the small business side of things, spending is down. And it's not like I think people are saving their money to shop at Best Buy.
I, today, bought myself an $18 lip balm that was on sale.
What's it made out of?
I don't know, but it's supposed to be good.
What was the normal price?
$23.
Holy moly, Geese. What savings.
I know.
I didn't buy anything for Black Friday. Didn't buy anything for Black Friday. Didn't buy anything for Cyber Monday.
Well, not everybody's got a lot of money these days is the big problem here.
It wasn't even that. It's what I find. I'm assuming most people are like this nowadays because of how frequently items go on sale, how easy it is to find used things.
Yeah. Oh, here's the thing. In the past, the way this operated was we'd buy all our stuff on Black Friday, great deals. How it works now is you follow Wario64, and when he tells you there's a price error, that's when you get your savings. Right. Anyway, I did the Samurott raid in Scarlet Violet. Very easy. Everybody, is it going on? It's going to be a week later if you missed this one. But my boy Miraidon got him so easy. And I was playing Ocarina of Time in Japanese on the Japanese Switch Classics Collection. Just trying to read as much as I can in Japanese. It's tough because there's a lot of kanji in there. Newer games, you'll get kanji with the little kana written up on top. So if you don't know how to read it, you can just easily go, okay, so something like that. And most excitingly, and don't worry, I don't have the money for this, so I did the PayPal pay as you pay it for it later. I got the PlayStation Portal. Ooh, very exciting. Because it's sick.
I was looking at it, and the price point sort of makes sense. Because people normally compare it to the Backbone, and it's not that big of a difference.
Have you played both of them?
No, I mean in price. I haven't played either.
Oh, at this point, I'm exhausted by the online discussions with the PlayStation Portal. It's so silly. I've never seen a product like this. Constantly sold out. Most people who get it adore it. Well, as long as your internet's good, you're going to adore it. So very popular. But every time it's posted, there's a million people saying, who would ever want this? Anybody who bought this is lying to themselves and talking. They're just trying to cope to say they actually like it. It's so weird.
I'm not going to get one, but I don't know what people are complaining about.
If you want to look at the pricing, the numbers add up. Because a DualSense is like $70. This is an entire real DualSense. It is the exact same. The only difference is the sticks are a little smaller, but all the buttons and triggers and haptics are the exact same. And it's got a giant screen on it, giant tablet, much bigger than, well, the Backbone didn't even have a screen. The Backbone, you use your phone. So
yeah,
you get an entire screen, and it works better than all the rest. I still need to try it outside of home. So I'll probably bring it when I visit my family for the holidays to see if it works. I think it should work. I mean, Sony says it'll work as long as you have good internet. So I'll see if I can PlayStation 5 game on the go. I tested out lots of games on it. Super Monkey Ball, Banana Mania. This was on sale for, I don't know if it was considered Black Friday, but it was like $5. With a free upgrade to PS5, I played Crisis Core, Battle Network, Katamari. We love Katamari. Dragon Quest XI, Final Fantasy IX, Spider-Man. It Some games look absolutely outstanding. Final Fantasy IX, Dragon Quest XI in 2D mode. Basically, any non-super crazy... Like, Spider-Man didn't look great, but I'm comparing it to Spider-Man the television. It looked good. Okay, I'm talking all over myself here. Most of the time you're playing the PlayStation Portal, it's like you have a giant Vita in your hands. And sometimes it looks even better than a Vita. And then sometimes you'll be playing Spider-Man 2 and you'll go, oh, this isn't as good as my 4K OLED, but why would it be? It's a 1080p little tablet streaming. So you got to kind of figure out what would even be considered good. I was trying to remember, because I've only seen a Steam Deck once. I'm trying to remember how it looked versus how Spider-Man looked on the Steam Deck. I think it was probably comparable.
I had kava.
What'd you get? What'd you eat?
The usual Geese Peep special, which is an order I found on Reddit. And it was exciting because it was Aaron's first time getting kava, and he got a very boring bowl, but he liked it.
There are no boring bowls at kava.
I guess it was just weird because he got a grain bowl, but he didn't get any, like, lettuce. And I guess that's weird to me.
So you know what the real funny thing is? I know what kava is. I know people love it. I have so many ridiculous ideas in my mind. Every time Michael talks about the ridiculous drinks that they have, I picture that as toppings for the bowls. So I'm imagining these 2-pound things of rice with a bunch of different meats and just like beet yogurt on it. Very mysterious.
You should go.
Yeah, I will one day.
So Instagram kept giving me an ad for this for these red pepper flakes. It's called Flatiron Pepper Company.
Huh.
Red pepper blend, and the ads were so good. They showed the most delicious looking food with these on, and they said, you'll never go back to old red pepper flakes. It's so next level. And I tried it today on my classic gift card pizza and free fries. I call it No Money Mondays.
That's so sick.
When I eat for free. And it's just red pepper flakes.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste it. I mean, maybe it's a tiny bit spicier. I don't know. But it's okay. I'm not upset just because all of the pizza places now charge for red pepper flakes. So
What?
Yeah, Domino's and Pizza Hut, you have to buy little plastic containers of red pepper flakes.
That's ridiculous.
But I have a question.
Don't I know it?
Why don't you just go to the nearest grocery store and buy them there for cheaper?
I mean, you can say that about drinks, too, though.
Well, my answer is I just stopped using red pepper flakes. Only reason I bought this was because they said it's so unbelievably delicious, your life will never be the same ever again. And now I don't feel bad because now at least I have some red pepper flakes for some pizza.
I can't eat pizza without red pepper flakes.
Wow.
What about
she'll
pepper and
throw
cheese?
up.
Oh, because of your Tumbo. And the barium shakes.
Mm.
You're not a pepperoncini guy?
Wild barium, blue barium, black barium.
I like pepperoncinis.
Guncan has a thing for pepperoncinis. She calls them pepper johnnies, which I find adorable.
She can't say that. That means something else. That's a bad word.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What isn't? That's fair, I guess. But it's because in Turkish, C's make a J sound. So pepperoncinis or pepperoncinis are pepperoncinis. So she just says pepper johnnies. Gigi's Pizza.
Only $3.99. Oh. Only $4.99. Only $17.99. All right, Taylor.
I actually had
Remnant 2.
I had some questions about, or some thoughts about the PlayStation Portal that I did want to
thank
kind
goodness.
of get your feelings on.
Somebody cares.
I do, because I love PlayStation. I love a huge Vita person. Love the PSP, and I still have kind of some PTSD from what happened with Mega Man Legends 3, where
that was
I'm
your
like,
fault. Maybe you
I know.
made some fan art.
Where I just keep thinking, and I know we've talked about it before, Geese, but that was basically where Capcom were saying, "Oh, we were running a hidden test, and the community involvement wasn't where we wanted to to be."
Yeah.
Geese, they never deleted the tweet. There was a tweet. There's a tweet from an official Capcom Twitter. It said basically, yeah, it's a shame it never got made. Too bad the fans didn't make enough fan art. Obviously, you didn't care.
Funny. Okay, so anybody who's listening to this, I encourage you, go look into that. Because the more research you do, the more absurd it becomes.
But anyway, as he
yeah.
says,
so, okay.
PlayStation Portal,
yes.
Play Crisis Core on it the way it was intended to be played, on a handheld.
But my PTSD that I was kind of talking about was I don't know if the right move with a product like the PlayStation Portal, because I want a Vita too. Whenever I saw the Switch, I was like, come on, PlayStation, you can do it. When I saw Steam Deck, I was like, come on, PlayStation, you can do it. I wonder if the Portal is them either one, testing the waters to see if they could make a portable.
I can answer the question.
Well, let me give you two.
Ooh.
Two, a hidden thing where people should vote with their wallets, not buy it, so they make a handheld.
That's, well, not buying it is not going to increase the chance of getting a portable. It's the exact opposite. If you want a portable, you better buy it.
It's the opposite of the double negative?
Here is the answer to why this product exists. Sony has data that they can access.
I thought you were going to say next question. Sony has data.
For instance, on the back end, they can see how many people are using Remote Play. And they can see what devices people are using to use Remote Play. They saw the immense number of people using backbones on PlayStation 5. And they said, that's a lot of money sitting on the table, huh? Because we could do that. It could be even better. They made the PlayStation Portal, and the buttons are so much better than the backbone.
Do you think that this is a potential stepping stone for a Vita 2?
No. They certainly wouldn't call it Vita 2.
Yeah.
It's the market. I don't think the market's there. Here's the only thing that I foresee possibly happening. And even this, I don't think is too likely. You release a device that is like the PlayStation Portal, has at least, and this wouldn't come out for a few years, you wouldn't have proprietary games on it. It would just be a portable PS4. I don't know if they'd get into the Xbox way of doing things and have something on par with a Series S. God, so funny that they finally just gave up and said, well, we broke our parity clause. We can't get co-op running on Baldur's Gate on Series S, so never mind. You can have stuff in Series X that it's not on Series S. It was a mistake, like Michael said, and everybody got upset at me. But anyway.
With this current handheld renaissance we're kind of in, I mean, it's just Steam Deck and Steam Deck competitors plus Switch. I was hoping for more Sony stuff.
Do you want to talk about Remnant 2 before Poké News of the Week?
Oh, everybody play Remnant 2. It is amazing. Quick thing, I was playing with Eric, and he made a comment that I thought was very, very accurate. In the original marketing for Destiny, Remnant 2 is what I think they wanted Destiny to be, where Eric and I went in this random corridor and wound up on a sentient train that made us play all these goofball games, and we got the core as a hammer. And that's what Destiny was originally telling people, which was, you're going to have a gun, and one of your friends is going to see it and say, where'd you get that? And you're going to have a crazy story. When the reality is just like, I just killed this one guy like 50 times.
Now, time for Taylor's Eatin' of the Week.
Eatin' of the Week. I made a whole bunch of random food for Thanksgiving. We had amazing desserts, bunch of apple pie, bunch of pumpkin pie. I made stir fry. I made burgers. I made some fantastic mashed potato. It was all over the place.
Because not even Thanksgiving. That's just a dinner.
Exactly. We had planned on having Thanksgiving in San Antonio, but we had to change our plans. So we get home. All the stores are closed. We had just spent 8 hours on the road. I get home, and I'm just like, yep, okay, I guess I'm cooking. Yes, Geese?
Aaron made mashed potatoes.
Did he use a What are the
Yeah.
He used a potato masher.
No, it's the
Taylor's
other one.
moving his arm around, mimicking an
Yeah.
old 1800s ice cream maker.
Yeah, it looks very much like that.
Rock salt.
I don't know what it's called.
Chemistry class.
You put the
He
potatoes
also chopped vegetables.
Whoa.
Now, I also had Thanksgiving at my house, but it was traditional Thanksgiving with turkey and taters and etc. But guys,
Uh-huh.
I barely ate any because my tummy was really bad. And it hasn't been this bad since July, which is not good.
Geese, okay, listen. Just get a new stomach because every week you say it's worse than it's ever been. And you can't keep trending this way. If you were a company, they would have said, just apply for bankruptcy, start a different company.
It got better, but then I guess it keeps just like getting worse.
Have you been drinking your barium shakes?
Well, that's what I'm hoping. I'll get some answers when I do this x-ray.
And you said the x-ray lasts 3 hours?
Yeah.
That doesn't even make any sense.
It's because I drink the solution and they take a image of it going through my small intestine.
Wow. So you watch it as it's digested?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Wow. That's kind of cool.
I guess.
Taylor, any other food news updates before Poke News?
No, I think it's time for Poke News
of the week.
This week, we have news from Poke Beach. Beach? Because Joe Saraby said, for the first day in 2.5 years, I don't have a piece of news to put up on the website. So very exciting. But Poke Beach says that Temporal Forces is March's new Pokemon trading card game set in English. Another near simultaneous release with Japan. Very exciting. And the image shows, of course, Walking Wake and Iron Leaves.
Can we talk about how I didn't get a single shiny Eevee during Eevee week and Pokemon Sleep?
Guess who also didn't?
Neither did Joe Saraby. He was very disappointed, Geese. So you and him.
And me. His name's not Joe Saraby, is it?
His name's Joe Merrick, but we call him Joe Saraby because he runs Saraby.net.
What do you think somebody whose entire online existence is predicated on consistent news, the first day they don't have news, what do you think that's like in their head?
I mean, I think he tried to find some news about there was an update in Pokemon Goofballs Cafe Remix Plus, but it technically was the day before. It was the longest streak he ever had. I mean, 10, 15 years ago, you would go quite a while without Pokemon news, but now there's so many products between live service games and card games and merchandise and anime, mobile games and books and manga and music and collaborations with big musicians and movies and TV shows and main games and DLC.
Speaking of Pokemon merchandise, Aaron and I went to this Japanese grocery store and gift shop near my sister's house.
Called Aaron Mart?
Yeah.
Got him, the Aaron Space Mart.
They had a blind box of some Alolan Pokemon and like a little clear Pokemon ball. So I got one, but I got the one I wanted the one of Litten, but I got the one of Beware, which is still pretty good, pretty comparable to the price it is in Japan.
Very exciting. And now it's time for the second half of the podcast where we discuss an episode of Pokemon Horizons. Geese Peep, let's hear the name in English.
Orla and the Pokemon. Sorry.
It's Pokemon. Pokemon. That's how you say it. Pokemon.
Orla and the Pokeball Craftsman.
Or in Japanese, Orio to Monsutā Bōru Shokunin. Taylor's losing.
Was that the end of it?
Monsutā Bōru.
I thought the title ended like 4 times. Is it still going? I'm sorry.
May I hear a synopsis, Geese?
Wait, before that, what was the...
Wait!
Wait, guys.
Tell me about the cranberry sauce.
If you say something not related to Pokemon after people have specifically clicked on the link to jump to Pokemon Talk.
Tell us about the cranberry sauce that Aaron made.
What was the... First of all, my cousin Ted brought the cranberry sauce.
Was it cranberrium sauce?
I am so sorry, everyone.
I'm sorry, grandmas.
Here's the synopsis. Orio's machines and dreams and Karna's Pokeball schemes.
Ooh.
Nice job, Geese.
Thank you.
Oh no, Clambos. Roy and Fuecoco have goofed the big one. They're trying to practice throwing Pokeballs in the ship, even though that should be done outside, and they've broken one of the walls of the ship. Oh my God.
All right, I have something real quick to say before we go into this episode. I'm not going to wait till the very end. This episode made me laugh more than any other episode. I was consistently laughing. It starts out with Roy playing ball in the house and getting in trouble for it.
Yeah.
He's practicing throwing Pokeballs.
Yeah. Orio is not amused, Clambos. If you break a wire, do you have any idea how much damage you will cause little Roy? Also, Clambos, the ship is falling apart. There are problems from everyone on the ship. Orio's gotta fix everything. Oh my! I'm telling you now, this, spoilers, happens a couple times in this show. I could never be that overwhelmed. I'd lose it. I do not have Orio's ability to just go, oh, okay, I'll do 700 things simultaneously for all of you.
The whole time that opening scene was going on where people were like, Oreos, we've got this issue. I was just thinking, Oreos, I get it. I understand. I'm that person.
We do get a cute little scene of Sprigatito nudging little Terapagos because he's on his little turtle back shell, and Sprigatito makes him go up right side up again for no reason. There's no reason for that scene, but we get it like a couple times throughout the episode. We get the intro song,
which I don't know why you two goofballs are giving it such a hard time. It's a great song. I listen to it every time.
Liko, Roy, Fuecoco, and Oreos and all their pokes arrive at the giant Pokeball factory that they had written down on a piece of paper from stealing, thieving grandma friend Teppan.
What were you two thinking going into this episode?
Well, considering I saw the little Twitter posts, I was excited to see some new Pokeballs.
I thought when we got here that the person that would come out of the factory would be Orio's sister.
I was very excited to learn about how Pokeballs function and like the history. I thought there would be more of a museum aspect.
I also hope that.
Me too.
Well, if you played some games, there's some cool moments in this episode.
I have been playing more Pokemon Violet.
The building, Clambos, is super sick, and Oreo is so pumped to see it. Or is she, Clambos? It appears the gears are out of sync. There's redundant piping here. No good, she says. There's so much that could be improved. Couple things about this episode. I knew, because I scrolled through some of Geese's notes, and I knew there were a couple things that she was going to say. She wouldn't be able to help herself. Oreo says this giant factory could use a lot of work. And then, boom, a giant explosion happens, and a door opens, and who pops out but Karnov, a woman with glasses.
She has Jesse's eyes.
She also looks like a character intro from like Hellsing Unlimited.
Yeah, everybody knows that. Taylor's anime second of the week.
Yeah.
So flustered Karna gets out the tea kettle. She's gonna make tea for everybody. But Clambos, when she tries to pull the tea kettle out of her giant pile of junk, what happens to it all, Geese?
It goes everywhere.
Very funny.
It lands all on top of her. She's trapped under a giant pile of junk. Her Magby is going wild.
Oh, her Magby has a nickname.
It doesn't have a nickname. It has a name in Japanese because it's based on a bird of the same name. And
it doesn't look anything like it, though.
Well,
what, a booby? It kind of does.
It looks nothing like it, no.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the booby, Geese.
Like a blue-footed booby?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Doesn't look anything like it.
Email Niantic.
Oh, sick! A Pokeball from Legends Arceus starts rolling towards Liko, and I'm getting excited. It's just in this big pile of junk. Sprigatito starts to play with it. Oh, it's just a recreation. Makes sense. An actual, authentic Hisuian Pokeball would probably be in a museum somewhere, because that's very, very old.
Which is where this episode should be taking place.
Yeah, I agree.
I love this episode because it's very funny, very well edited. I love Oreos. What a woman. But come on. Like,
I wanted lore.
Me too.
Come on, guys.
They're literally in like England. They couldn't go to like a museum.
Yeah, they're so close to London.
They got the good team on this episode. The bad team will make the next episode, so get ready for a terrible episode next week, you would imagine.
It is actually pretty sick, speaking of teams, because normally Fritos has to carry episodes, and he had almost no involvement in this. It was a very good episode where nothing happened.
Almost like when there's more adults with them, the better the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Karnov introduces herself to everyone. Magby's getting the tea ready with his little fire. Very cute. The Pokemon are drinking a bunch of milk. Now, much like Grandma Diana, Karna reveals that she was not aware that Tepin was a scam artist and a crook and a thieving no-goodnik.
Very weird throwback to the last. It feels like a throwback, but it is the continuation of the plot. They just go, I didn't think he'd be such a sketchy guy.
Yeah, he was real sketch. As you might imagine, Clambos, from somebody who is the sole owner-operator of a Pokeball factory, Karna loves Pokeball.
It's true.
And Roy shows off his ancient Pokeball that Rayquaza was in.
Were you two cracking up during this scene?
She was losing it. She was all about it.
Can you read that?
Yep. She's cousin. That's okay.
I wrote she's losing it.
I was cracking up because Roy, hot off the heels, literally last episode, he got his Pokeball stolen by flashing it around. First thing he does, flash it around. First thing that happens, gets snatched out of his hand.
That poor boy. But luckily, she's not a scam artist. She's losing it. She's photographing this ancient Pokeball. She's going to town on it. Unfortunately, she doesn't know anything about it, but that's no big deal because, look, I got a bunch of Pokeball prototypes over here in this cardboard box. They're all mysterious and whatnot. Look.
Just delivered in the most comical way possible. Her going, oh, wow, I can't believe how, and Roy going, oh, wow, what do you know about it? And she's like, nothing. It's just real funny.
Yeah, she just says Pokeballs are sick. Here, Roy, look at all those. We get the wackiest Pokeballs you've ever seen. And to big Pokemon fans, this is the kind of stuff that really gets us excited. Just new Pokeball types. So excited.
What was your favorite new one? Was it the banana ball?
There was no banana ball. There was a boomerang ball.
Sorry.
To the balls in a second. Roy wants to try all of these new balls out. And he grabs the entire box and just marches outside for throwing practice. But Karna says to him, you better be careful, Roy, because there's some tough pokes out there. You don't want to get into some scary battle and get in trouble. Which, foreshadowing. And then Karna's Pokeball machine starts goofing up again. There's a loud noise, and Karnov says, you need these big old machines for mass production, but these machines are no good. But then Oreo says to that, well, have you done maintenance? Oreos not want to hear any slander about machines anywhere near her. She starts to check out Karna's machines, and she says, well, here's your problem right here. You got blades worn down. You need some oil. There's no coolant. Angies. Oreos managed to fix everything in seconds.
With just a wrench.
And Karna...
My notes are, what a woman, so competent.
Yep. Look, they're two ladies who are industrious. Industrious? Is that a word?
Sure. Industrial revolution.
Yeah, exactly.
And, they're
very
vibing.
hands-on, Geese, exactly.
They're vibing. there's chemistry. It's undeniable. It's undeniable.
I actually really like this type of storytelling with a relationship between two characters. It's heavily hinted at.
We'll get to it when it comes up.
Right.
When they like touch hands or whatever. Okay. Ooh, sick! The machine spits out a brand new Pokeball. It's very nice.
Is this like a type of Pokeball that we know about?
No, this is a brand new Pokeball she's making.
Mm-hmm. It's called...
I don't think they gave it a name.
I was really hoping someone would know.
The only thing I heard was, ooh, what a pretty ball. And then later, ooh, what a beautiful ball.
Beautiful.
So, the moral of this episode is you best not smack talk any machines. Also, get your Magby to help out too. He can do plenty to make this more efficient. Then we cut to Roy.
With a Beyblade.
We cut to Roy. He's throwing this sick shark fin spike blue and red rocket ball into a rock.
The funny thing is, okay, so Karna is designing all these balls? Or how does that process work?
She designed them. She included the design notes in the box with them. So we know she was the one that made them.
I understand the trial and error process when creating a product. All of those seem pretty bad.
No, the rocket ball's sick. It's just like the jet ball from Legends Arceus, so very sick.
Compare it to like a dusk ball.
And now, well, yeah, the normal Pokeballs in the games is just, if you use it on this Pokemon, it's more likely to catch. But Legends Arceus has cool ones. Because the jet ball, you throw it like Pokemon way up in the sky. It just goes in a straight line.
That's sick.
And he's going to try out the boomerang ball, which Taylor was going on about earlier. Terrible ball. Ball.
It was another moment where I was really cracking up because it swung around, hit him in the head, and I, for sure, 100% thought he was going to catch himself.
Human beings can't be caught in a Pokeball.
No, but the way it hit its head and bounced off was exactly how every other ball bounces off a Pokemon.
The old yellow Australian ball. Then he tries the Bomb Ball, blows up on him. Don't see the point of that ball. And then Geese. Who do we have lurking in the bushes, in the shadows, in the forests, in the trees, sneaking and looking at Roy?
Team Rocket.
No, it's Galarian Wheezing.
What is his Japanese name? Because it had a lot of Garagalaga.
I know Coughing's Japanese name. Dogas.
Like what a dog or something.
What a dog.
I read it and it was very goofy.
His Japanese name, of course, is Matadogasu.
I was close.
You actually were very close.
And then we cut to the Great Salami. Frito is telling everybody that he just left Oreos there because, she felt she had some connection with that lady to fix her machines.
I felt that too.
Ooh, Geese. And then we get a big old fight on the salami. Everybody starts arguing over who's overworking Oreo the most.
They're all arguing, saying that everyone else is to blame. Grandma Diana is sipping her tea, being, a grandma, commenting about it.
Then we cut back to Liko playing with the pretty ball. Oreo showing Karnov how to be more efficient. And Magby's having the time of his life, by the way. Magby, it seems to me like Magby has just wanted to be helpful and useful, and finally he is now.
My note for that scene was, who was it, Karna, saying like, oh, everyone looks like they're having so much fun. And I said, yeah, Karna. Booby looks like he's having a real good time over there. Just hyperventilating into the furnace.
Are Pokemon covered in OSHA?
I don't know.
Oh, no way.
Now, Clambos, we get the scene everybody's been waiting for. It's Karna and Oreos just flirting so hard, back and forth, just giving each other the biggest compliments you could ever imagine. What does Karnov ask of Oreos?
She wants her to stay and help run the factory with her.
Geese, they could make flying Pokeballs together.
Just imagine because it didn't seem in line with her character, but I guess it is. The gumption it takes to ask somebody to leave their crew in front of their crew maybe a few hours after meeting them.
Like Geese said, like Taylor said, Liko overhears this conversation. She is very concerned. Just take a look at her face, Clambos.
And listen to the paragraph that she speaks in her head.
Not yet. You're excited about that.
Darn
scene,
it.
but it's coming.
I'm so ready for it.
Then we cut to dejected Roy and Fuecoco. They gone through almost the whole box of Pokeballs. Oh my God, Clambos, he's got a great idea. What if instead of throwing the ball and then reading the instructions, what if he reads the instructions and then throws the ball?
Roy and Fuecoco in this episode are just comedic gold.
Oh yeah, there are a couple of Laurel and Hardys over here. So Roy decides to pick up the chase ball, which will automatically seek out the nearest Pokemon that it can catch. Roy throws it, and it finds that Galarian Weezing hiding in the forest. But unfortunately, the problem with this prototype is it often fails to open. So Weezing is livid that it got hit in the head. It's tinier head. Galarian Weezing and regular Weezing, multiple heads.
2 heads are better than 1.
Galarian Weezing starts to chase after Roy and Fuecoco. Oh my God, what's going to happen? We cut to the factory. Taylor, it's your favorite segment of all time. Clambos, you've been asking for it.
The return.
Here we go. Lico's soliloquy begins.
Good old monologue Lico, friend of the show.
Even Geese gave a very half-hearted thumbs up.
You didn't see her little point earlier. I can't remember what the last thing I said was, but she looked exactly like that and went like this. It was very funny.
For the audio listeners, Taylor went like this.
Sick.
Guys,
Yes.
she's worried that Orio's going to leave because they're too demanding of her on the ship and that maybe her dreams lie elsewhere.
With the local singles in the Pokeball factory. So now we get Lico asking, well, beating around the bush a little bit, but Lico trying to suss out, are you going to leave us for real Oreos? And Oreos decides to give Lico her origin story.
Are you going to leave us for real Oreos?
Delicious. We get a flashback.
We've gotten some of these scenes before when we had the really cool episode where we were introduced to Captain Pikachu.
Where we learned the origin.
Yeah, but we basically already kind of know this story. It wasn't as delved into as I hoped. I was not expecting was the line about how her job was good. It was stress-free, but she was like, is this job I have really the most important thing to me? And I was like, this is 2D Pokemon. I cannot have a crisis. Please.
They keep dropping that stuff.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was last week, but they've had some real moments.
Yeah, with Dot and talking about how she needs to put herself out there.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been so afraid. I'm like,
yep.
Oy.
Is this what she truly wants, Clambos, working in a Hoenn shipyard? Shows the planning and the execution of building the Great Salami, all thanks to Fritos. She's got her cute little bob haircut.
Working in a Hoenn shipyard is my favorite Bob Dylan song.
Got him. Then right as Oreos is about to finish up her story, oh my God, who comes running in?
In hilarious fashion.
Roy.
Our boy. And
Fuecoco.
our boy.
Being chased by Galarian Weezing, and the Weezing hits Fuecoco with a big ol' attack and confuses him. But Sprigatito jumps out to the rescue. Use Leafage, Sprigatito. Oh no, it uses a poison attack on Sprigatito. Oh, that's terrible of her, a grass type.
The intro to this scene, incredibly funny. The dual scream from Fuecoco and Roy made me laugh pretty hard.
Oreo throws out Metagross. And Clambos, as you and I both well know, poison attacks aren't going to do S-word against a steel type.
That's right, they're not going to do stuff.
And then it looks like Metagross uses Rapid Spin, but I'm not sure if he can learn that move.
It's very sick. I do like the way Oreos commands her Pokemon.
Yeah, she's good.
Uses Metal Claw.
And it hit that fairy in the face. Fairies are, of course, weak to steel-type moves. So he gets punched back to the forest, and looks like Oreos and Metagross saved the day. What could possibly go wrong from
Nothing.
here?
Nothing.
Well, that's the end of the episode. Geese, let's hear the wrap up.
Oh no, there's more of them, and they're angry.
Oh no, Fuecoco's still hurt, and there's a million Galarian wheezing. Luckily, Captain Pikachu shows up, like he always does, for his Deus Ex Machina, and does a big old thunderstorm, and
while Fritos is riding around on Charizard like a kid on a small bicycle.
Yeah, Frito says, Cap, you got this. You got it under control. And I start counting the Galarian wheezing, and I think Captain Pikachu is a very strong Pokemon, I'll admit, but that is a lot of Galarian wheezing to have to take down.
He's just a god-level Pokemon.
I don't know if you can do it, Cap. Now, Fritos has a brilliant idea. I thought, when this next scene started, I thought his brilliant idea was going to be to produce so many Pokeballs that you could just catch all of the wheezing, much like all the Tauros in the original series.
Thought that it was going to turn out the big Pokeball on top of the factory was functional, and they were going to catch them all in one giant Pokeball?
But no, neither of our fan theories came to fruition. Instead, Frito says, everybody, work together, all you Pokemon, you, Oreo, you, Karna, put this factory into maximum overdrive. I wanted it maximum output. Oh no, the factory's gonna explode. No, we just gotta try harder. Ganbaremasu. And then, Geese, what starts to happen when the factory's making a million Pokeballs? What happens to the giant smokestack on top of the factory? The big old chimney.
So much pollution.
There's so much smoke coming out of it, which brilliant Fritos knew exactly what would happen next. All the Galarian wheezings start to fly up towards all this smoke coming out.
They go yum, yum, yum.
They go yum, yum, yum. And Liko pulls out her Pokedex on her Rotom phone. We learned that the wheezing are wonderful for the environment because they like to eat all the particulates in the chimney smoke. And then instead of pooping, they expel clean air.
This episode really made me appreciate wheezing a lot. He bumped up, because I've never been a coughing, wheezing, Galarian wheezing fan. Now, super big fan.
Great design. Great design.
I'm a big environmentally friendly person, and I enjoy that.
Yep. They eat all the smoke, and now they're nice and content and happy. And like every episode, Clambos, it's now dusk. Time to wrap up the episode.
Before we get to that, I had such a big issue with Fritos coming in and saving the day. It took so much away from Oreos. I wanted her, the mechanic, the one who's constantly dealing with things like this, to say, increase the output of the furnace so the wheezing are attracted to it. Instead,
I also agree.
Fritos is just like, hey, yeah, I'm in this guy. Here we go. I'm a professor. And it's like, it's sick, but he's had so many sick scenes. Come on, Game Freak.
Well, Karna, I'm sorry. Oreos can't work here. But Karna gives Oreos a beautiful Pokeball gift anyway to remember her by.
Some ideas.
And they both give each other the most sensual double winks imaginable. And she says, oh, don't you worry. I'll come back all right. And I wrote all right in italics.
It was from, she said, from the ends of the earth or something like that. Something along that.
She said something along those lines.
This was a Twilight novel.
So the great Salami, the brave Asagi, flies off into the sunset. Oreos finally gets to finish her story to Liko that was interrupted by Scream and Roy before. She says to Liko, listen, all I want is to do new things, okay? Flying on this ship across the world, well, that's going to give me plenty of firsts.
Yep. And Karna would have only given her one first, probably.
And then she says, same for you, right, Liko?
It's real cool because at this point, everybody erupts into the room.
Well, first we get another adorable little cute Sprigatito and Terapagos playing.
Terrapendant.
So everybody bursts into the room as if on cue. Everybody with their own issues.
Bursts in again, just like the beginning of the episode. Frito's calling on the phone. She's got to fix the propeller. The AC's broken. The stove's on the fritz. The door's broken. And then Roy says,
the funniest line in the episode, I put another hole in the wall.
This is where I would get overwhelmed and not know what to do with myself. Unlike Orio's, who says, well, guess I'll go fix it all. And then we get a close-up on the big, beautiful ball, Pokeball that Karnov gave to Orio's as a token of her never-ending, undying love.
But not before Diana gets her one contractual line in the episode. I don't remember what it was, but I always note that she only says one line at the very end of the episode.
Very sick, Lambos. I hope you enjoy the one line that was said. What was it? A mystery.
Probably something about living life or eating out of cans.
Guys.
To be continued.
Guys.
Yes,
you think that we'll meet Karna's mentor that she mentions? That
I thought
she
you
says,
were going to say something so different. I thought you were going to say, do you think we'll meet all our friends in the afterlife?
That'd be so terrible. Can you imagine? What about the people that secretly didn't like you?
You just don't meet them. They're in another room.
So you're going to learn that in afterlife that they didn't like you? That's
you'll just forget them. You'll just forget them.
Anyway,
yeah,
do you think we'll meet Karna's mentor that she mentions offhand, especially considering that like she gave this new Pokeball to Orio?
It'll be a real sick potential plot thread that is given like one line.
I hope it's Kurt from Gold and Silver, the famous Pokeball maker. Wouldn't that be sick? I'd be losing it.
Be very sick.
Geese Peep, let's hear all about Frito's Seminar of the Week.
Today's Pokemon is the poison gas Pokemon Weezing. Galarian Weezing, to be specific. This Pokemon sucks in dirty air through its mouth and expels it via its hat-like protrusion. Do you know the state of the air it exits in? Which is how they phrase the captions.
The captions in this episode are very fun. Or in this Frito seminar.
It's fun. A different font, too. So it's probably a different translator doing this work.
Is it A, clean, B, dirty, or C, poison gas?
A, clean, which we learned in the episode.
So sick. Like a little air filter.
Yes. It gets its nutrition.
My favorite part of Professor Seminar's Fritos is when Geese responds, yes. That's my favorite part.
It gets its nutrition from poisonous substances in the air, and it takes the poison in its body and leaves leftover clean air.
Quick little note to Niantic. Please release a Galarian wheezing air purifier.
Oh, that'd be so sick.
It'd be incredibly sick.
Then we get an adorable little picture of Captain Pikachu at an outdoor cafe being served tea by a female NDD while Score Bunny's running around and a Galarian Weezing is floating by, making the air nice and breathable for everyone.
Best episode ever? Yes. Did it have a point? No.
You know the drill, Clambos. This is a good episode. We switch off on good episodes and bad episodes. This was a lot of fun. Lots of Pokeballs. Lots of laughs. Anyone who is into the Japanese genre of Yuri, super into this one.
What's Yuri?
Girls love manga and anime and stuff.
Girls love manga?
Nope.
Yep. Girls do love manga.
Oh. Yeah.
If I were to give this episode a review, it's a solid. I don't know what to get. Maybe like between an 8.8 and a 9.1, I guess.
Ooh.
Give it an 8.
Wow.
Gives it an 8.
Yeah, I would give it a much higher score if it had some element of permanent teaching us something we didn't know about Oreos or not having Fritos save the day. But I'll still give it a good 8.5 to 9, somewhere in that range.
God, I love how we just, when asked for a score, we just say, somewhere between. That's the way to do it. Yeah, Taylor's right. There were a lot of funny moments. Roy, adorable. I mean, how can we possibly hold it against the episode when we got a Liko soliloquy? It's what we've been asking for, begging for every episode. Can we just get Liko talking to herself in her head for a while?
Please, let Liko be worried.
It's not that bad because it wasn't like the plot or like the episode relied on her speaking to like learn something or forward something. It was only like a little bit.
Yeah, nice little waste of everyone's time.
Yeah, well, it was, I think what we found is that the best episodes, at least the ones that we like the most, are the ones with the least amount of Liko soliloquy.
Yeah. It's funny because I think Roy is best used as a punctuation to a scene. He's so good in a scene transition.
It was very adorable. Magby was such a baby.
I love Booby.
Cute, adorable little Pokemon.
And Elekid.
It's just an enjoyable time. And honestly, when I was watching the worst series of all time as it was airing, Black and White, that's all you came to it for. Just look at the cute Pokemon and smile. That's what you're here for. So there was cute Pokemon, thus good episode. Thank you all. Thank you, one. Geese Beep, it's time to move into the wrap-up.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. You can follow us on social media at LookListenCast on Twitter, on Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you to Keith for our artwork. You can follow him at twitch.tv/KeithSquared.
Shouts out to Professor Ticklebits for the website Boilerplate. You can follow him at twitch.tv/prof_Ticklebits. Thank you to supporters. You can support us on a recurring basis.
Boilerplate.
You can go to looklistencast.com or on the little podcast. There should be a link to support us monthly. Thank you so much to our supporters. Please recommend this podcast to your grandmas and cousins and baby nephews because it's for everybody. There's no swear words.
Shout out to the grandmas.
If there are, it's cut out or bleeped. Also, please.
Extra editing of the week.
Please send your questions to looklistencast@gmail.com. This week's is a follow-up from last week's from Triforce Vigor. She asked about Thanksgiving food for Pokemon last week, and this week she says, additionally, what autumn activities are what Pokemon's favorite? And winter activities, too.
Everyone close your eyes and imagine this scene. Pikachu is sitting, riding on Charizard, and he's picking apples at the apple orchard. And everyone's smiling and having a great time. And that apple dragon is there.
Fanapple.
What's his name, Michael?
Good question. There's 1,000 of them. I mean, there's Applin, and then there's the apple pie evolution, and there's Flapple, the apple.
They're all there.
Flapple. Then the new one, which is an actual.
They're all there.
And then the new one, which has not been revealed yet, which is going to be in Scarlet Violet DLC 2, who evolves from Diplin. He's a Hydra apple dragon.
That's pretty sick.
And imagine this. We got Pikachu, and he's riding on Togekiss, and they're sledding. Pikachu is riding Togekiss, which is acting as a sled on a hill.
That was a great answer, Geese. And also, great screen cap you got of Roy and Fuecoco being blown up by the Bomb Pokeball. Because looking at this screenshot, I did not look at Fuecoco's little face. I was looking at Roy's face, but not Fuecoco's little face.
And his little arms.
He got blowed up.
So cute.
Glambos, just you wait for it. Oh, God. Once you see the little social media post on this one. Oh, my God. Look at his face. What a baby. Yeah, Pokemon playing in the leaves. The little guys. You got little Pachirisu, little Squovitz, collecting little acorns. Oh, so adorable.
God, I love Pachirisu.
And then you'll get Pokemon ice skating for winter. Little Mr. Mime. Little Mime Jr. and his baby ice skates.
Okay, imagine this. Imagine little...
wait, let me close my eyes, Geese. Okay, I'm imagining.
Close your eyes.
Imagine a little baby Pichu sitting on Santa Penguin's lap.
Delibird!
Oh, wow.
Delibird gives Pichu a candy cane.
Oh my god.
I'm saying the only activity I need is Plusle, Minun, Pichu, Pachirisu, playing in a big old pile of leaves.
They say playing in a pile of pumpkins because every other name was a... Good thing you got a pop filter, am I right? All right, thank you so much for your question, Triforce Vigor, coming in clutch and we got some adorable answers from Geese People. I'm so down in the depths of the notes, I can't even find where we are. Do I not? Oh, I guess this is just goodbye time.
Yeah, I was going to say, we just got to get the 3 goodbyes.
All right, goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
One more time.
Bye-bye. Diddles.
Oh, diddles.
Ooh.
Diddles.
Howdy, y'all. It's me, Geese Pete. Thank you for listening to the Geese Pete Productions podcast.
Geese Peep Enterprises, doing business as Peep Industries, together with its subsidiaries, is a diversified worldwide entertainment company with operations in media networks, talent management, parks and resorts, multimedia entertainment, and consumer products and interactive media. Geese Peep Enterprises is a Dow 30 company